Hey, this is Ken. I'm with Best Motorhomes Ever. And I want to talk about the difference with motorhomes versus renting a trailer or using a fifth wheel. You might be having some questions on whether you really want a motorhome to rent, you want maybe to buy a motorhome, or you're thinking about a fifth wheel and or maybe just a tow trailer. And I can tell you the reason why we've decided that we're going to go with a motorhome. The thing that we found with trailers, because I've had a trailer before, it's nice that you can disconnect your trailer and then be able to drive your truck around in the town. And then if you decide that gonna pick up stakes and go somewhere else, you got to go back and hook up the trailer and then pull it back out and find another spot. And there can be some benefit to having a little bit easier mobility with a truck. Same thing with the fifth wheel. Fifth wheel, of course, being much bigger and requiring a truck that has a better hauling or towing capacity. So we didn't go with the fifth wheel because we didn't want to get a bigger truck. And we didn't go with the trailer because even though it's nice to be able to hook up to a trailer and then leave the trailer somewhere and then drive around town, my wife and I, with our jobs and our lives, we just have a hard time feeling like if we have to do those extra steps to go out and hook up the trailer and get going, it's just a little bit more than it is if we decided we're just going to leave our motorhome always ready to go, which is what we do. We leave our motorhome ready to go, and anytime we have a moment and we're thinking, you know what, we haven't prepared anything for a vacation this weekend, but we got a couple of days, we're going to get out of town, it's really nice to just be able to jump in a vehicle and start driving, just like you do with your car. But this way, you start driving, maybe just stop at a store and pick up some food. You've already got everything else stocked. Start on the road, and it's just like driving, but you got your home with you. So it's most convenient for that for us. So I'm gonna just come out here and show you a little on the outside of the motorhome. So for us, we've got a C-Class motorhome, and as you can see, it is a lot like a truck in the front, and so we also didn't pick one that was too big. This is 27 feet, and that also helps so that when you're driving around town, it's a little easier to fit into places. It's not as hard to maneuver. It is a little bit tight with some of the small spaces like parking lots and that kind of thing. So it's not as convenient as a truck. However, it's not as bad as like a 30-foot or those really big 35-footers. Some of those are just so hard to maneuver around. The other thing is, with the back end on this, it doesn't swing out too much. If you have ever driven one of those big ones, the 30-foot, 35-footers, when you turn, you're turning and that back end here will just kind of swing out. So you have to be really careful that you're not going to end up smacking a pole or a tree, or going through the gas pumps and hitting the gas pump with it. That obviously it can be a real big problem if you're not familiar with watching that backside. With a 27-footer, it's, for me, I'm big, so I'm a 6'7" guy, and having the extra room with a slide here, and then having the extra length so that we have that extra size on our motorhome, but not so big that it has a lot of extra swinging on the back end when you're driving it. So it kind of has more than just a motorhome. It is a kind of a in-between driving a truck around and having a real big nice motorhome. It's kind of a nice in-between size and accessibility to get out into the community when you want to. And you do have to unhook all your motorhome hookups that if you're staying at a campsite and you got to unhook the sewer and you got to unhook the water. Those really aren't too complicated to do, but at the same time you can pick up and get going pretty easy, which really for us is the main factor. So you just have to kind of decide what your life is like and what would be the most convenient thing for you. If hooking up to a trailer is not a big deal and just pulling it and getting out of town, and then maybe that's the thing for you. We like the availability of the entire motorhome to be able to walk around in, so that when we have kids or grandkids in there, they can just be moving around in there as we need them to, or going to the bathroom. And then with a truck, you do have to stop all the time for people. If you've got multiple people in your vehicle that need to go to the bathroom, and with kids, that's always a factor. So we just found it really convenient to have all of those things contained inside the vehicle with a motorhome. So once again, this is Best Motorhomes Ever. If you have any questions, you can feel free to post a comment, or you can share and like, and we look forward to seeing you on the road.